Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. It is pouring outside. It's been raining since I woke up at, dark o'clock this morning. So it's been quite a morning around here. Handsome hubby is home day number 4 from work. And, and Hudson has been vomiting. So it's been kind of crazy around here. But I did get up early and I made a project. It's time for me to clean my desk of all the little gibbles and bits. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do with those? So this is the piece that I made this morning. The background is bits and pieces of paper. And then the roses are bits and pieces of colored paper. So it was very fun. I was looking for a fun, easy way to clean my desk, and so I just glued it all on a piece of wood. Okay, see you on the table. All right, let's go through the supplies together. As usual, Mod Podge, our brush, which I'm getting along with mine famously. I have some water in a little spray bottle. Some StazOn ink. I chose black. It's not a very juicy one. 3 colors of cheap acrylic paint. Some spray ink. I chose blue. We'll see what happens. A white paint pen. A black Sharpie. My ever trusty 8046 Stabilo pencil, scissors, underpants. So like I say, I've just cleaned off my desk, so it's all bits and gibbles, jips and dibbles of paper for the underpants. And then these are just some brightly colored pages that I had that I'm going to be ripping up and creating flowers with them. And a stencil, kind of an open stencil. And a couple of deli sheets. Alright, I know so many of you can't find these where you are, and I don't know what a good replacement for them is. It's like if I get a sandwich at a deli, they put my sandwich in here, or French fries in a basket, or anything like that. And it's kind of waxed on one side and not on the other. I suppose for this you could use tracing paper, because basically that's what we're going to do. We're going to build the flower on here and then cut it out. Yeah, that'll be more clear as we move on. And the first one I made on a piece of wood. Just any piece of wood that you have laying around without stealing the cupboard doors. But today I'm going to repurpose a canvas board. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover it with bits and pieces of the old book pages and create some fun underpants for the background of my piece. And I will just tear them into pieces and glue them down, Mod Podge, and start gluing the pages down. Okay, let's chat a little bit while I get the last of these underpants down. So I don't care for the white edge on the pages, so I tear that off. I don't like to have a bunch of white on my background. I have to be careful because this dictionary becomes quite translucent, and it will show my repurposed canvas. I prefer to rip most of the time because it glues down easier. And then when I finish getting all of the underpants down, what I'll do is I'll turn it over and I will flip this over and glue it onto the back side so it's got a nice finished edge. Okay, I did grab some deli sheets. They're always fun. Put those on there randomly, just for some color. I had a polka dot thing. Oh, here's a little butterfly wing. Let's use that. Wanna? I think so. We'll put that there. One quick peek before I turn it over. So I've got lots going on here. All right, I'm going to let it dry for a minute, flip it over, and glue the back side. There's going to be some wrinkles in it. I'm embracing those because I want to pick up some texture with some of the acrylic paint as we go further down the road. Let's just wrap a little bit of this together, shall we? If you are using a gel medium, my hat's off to you. I love, can you hear Mr. Jenkins coughing? I love what Mod Podge does to paper. It just kind of makes it so pliable and workable. Whoop, I'm knocking my underpants on the floor. And then I just take the corners just like a Christmas present and I just corner them up. Okay, our background is nice and dry. I am going to visit my colors. I'm going to use the turquoise and the green first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the green on the bottom. Just a couple of drops, blops really. Oh, you're going to need a credit card. Sorry. Forgot to tell you that. And you're going to take your spray water and you're just going to spray that acrylic paint just a little bit. And you're going to take your card and you're just going to drag that paint up. This is where your texture is fun because now it's going to pick it up a little bit. All right. I'm going to dry. So I've done the same thing at the top with the blue. I just put some paint down, some water down, and I'm going to grab my credit card, gift card actually, and just move some of that down. And I'm going to dry it. So my eye wants to see a little bit more green. So I'm going to add some green. And this is, I'm still working on the top here, okay? Credit card. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I've used the turquoise and I've used the lime green. It's all dry. I'm going to grab my spray ink. This is always unpredictable. Beautiful. And what? Let's dry it. So yeah, I forgot to tell you to grab your gesso too. Boy, no boy. Talk about changing things midstream, huh? So I'm going to place this stencil down and just take a little bit of gesso and go in on that stencil. We're just looking for some more texture, some more energy, some more excitement. And I'll do these. So we're getting some nice energy going in this background. I'm going to take the same stencil. I'm sure it's going to be in a different spot. And I'm going to take my StazOn and I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of stays on ink. And I will do the same to the other side. All this does is prevent too much from going down on your canvas. It just kind of picks up the high points, the texture points. Those wrinkles that were bothering you before, we love them now. Oh, yes, please. All right. That is marvelous. I think it goes this way for you guys, though. Fun, huh? Very, very fun. Just, of course, I can't resist the edge. And that's how it is. Now, we really get to play with some flowers. All right, now you're going to need your deli sheet or your tracing paper, whichever you're going to use to make your roses, your flowers. And you're just going to make some kind of a shape, not really a round shape. And you're going to hold your pen very loosely because we want squiggly lines, not real straight lines. And basically what you're going to be creating is a positive and a negative energy. All right, so we're going to turn this over. We can still see our flower. And we are going to take a fun piece of colorful stuff and tear it into bits and pieces. Now we have talked before about how to rip the paper. So there's two ways to rip the paper. One leaves no white edge, and the other one leaves a white edge. And I'm kind of a nut about the not having the white edge, especially for a piece like this. I want all color. So if I tear the piece toward myself, if I selfishly tear the piece toward myself, I get no white edge. Can you see that? No white edge. All right. So I randomly tore these, so I have white edges on them. So as I glue them down, I will be very careful to cover that white edge. We are going to use our Mod Podge to glue this down on. I'm using a deli sheet. You certainly can use tracing paper, anything that's going to let you see through and adhere easily to your piece. So what I'll do is I will work from the center out, making sure to glue each piece down and to cover that white edge with each following piece. So see how there's no white edges here, and I will just continue that. See, I have no white edge here. So that's the edge that I will leave exposed on the flower. And I'm just going to continue to do that. Mod Podge. No white edge. And keep doing that and just keep working out your flower. So you can make your flower as big or as small as you want, and you can make your colorful pieces large or small. It just depends on what you want. Now as you're looking at this, you can see some white edge, but if I flip this over and see where the flower is, it comes inside that edge, so I won't have any of those white edges showing. I do have some scissors that are nice and ooey and gooey. I use them clearly on glue that hasn't dried yet. So I'm just going to go for it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just go along that outer line. And you don't want to follow it exactly. You want to give your flower a little bit of character. So give it some bends, some squiggles. Let it have some character. And just go around and cut that whole flower out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, and you certainly don't have to watch me do it, but see this line on the inside? I am going to cut that out. So that means I'm going to cut one way going around on the outer edge until I hit the center. And then I'm going to cut the inner line. Alright, and that will give me my spiral for my rose. Alright, let's go through that again. So there's a double line inside the rose. And what I did is I just cut one side of it. Okay, let's talk about that. So let's just say this is the rose. Do it nice and large. And I made a swirl like this. And then I came back like this. Okay? So this is one line that you're going to cut out. And then after you get that line cut out, you're going to come back and cut the other line out so that this is going to be gone. Okay? So I cut one line out. Now I'm going to go back in and cut that other one. I'll just start it in front of you. So I'll come in here and start cutting. It's just tough at the very beginning. Once you get going, you can go a little bit easier. And remember, you know, you can make it squiggly, make it fun. Don't make it perfect. What kind of fun is that? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue cutting that out. Ta-da! It's a rose. I kind of put it on that deli sheet so you could see it better. That is fun. Where's our background? So this will be a flower on here. How fun is that? Okay, and here's just another idea. It's smaller, but I've made it kind of like a bud, more like a rose bud. Almost looks like a cupcake. So I'm going to cut that out the same way. Can you see how the cupcake is and then the frosting? We're going to make a flower out of that. I think I'll make the bottom smaller when I cut it. So here's the little rosebud. Very cute. Alright, so let's bring everything back in and take a peek at it. I've got another flower that I made, so we shall see how everybody goes together on that background. Kinda cute. Alright, I am going to bring in some splatters of the yellow. And I have a toothbrush someplace here. Leave some moisture on that toothbrush. Make some yellow splatters. I'm going to dry this and then we're going to glue those flowers on. Okay, you're going to position the roses the way that you want them. We'll be creating stems. And I have some deli sheet here where I had put some green on it, and I'll cut some leaves out of there for on here. But for gluing this on, I'm going to use my Mod Podge that I have in my white glue container because it doesn't come out as thick, as wide. And I'm just going to put some glue around this, and I'm going to start gluing my flowers down. What I like to do is just take a piece of paper towel and push that down. And then I can work down the rest of it. And I will do this with the other roses.
Yay.
So with a black gel pen or a roller ball or a uniball, I just made the 3 stems that join at the bottom. I am going to grab my deli sheet with the green on it, and I'm just going to cut some leaves, and I'm going to glue just a few leaves on there. It doesn't need very many. 3 leaves glued down, Stabilo in hand, and I'm just going to go around the roses, of course, and I'm going to shadow them. I will do around all of the flowers. If you've watched my videos, you know I'm a nut for the Stabilo. A little bit of moisture on that Stabilo gives it that nice smoky look. I would do it to the stems as well. Alright, I have finished with the Stabilo. I stabiloed around the edge. I stabiloed the stems. Looks like this guy could use a little more blending. There we go. Here too. Stabiloed the edges, stabiloed the flowers. You know me and the Stabilo. Put the Stabilo down, isn't that what we say? Okay, and then I took my uniball and I just traced the flowers and the leaves. Now I'm going to come in with the white paint pen and just add some fun dots. So let me play with the energy on this. I do love this piece. There's some white dots. What I want to do is I want to make the flowers uber shiny. So I'm grabbing my triple thick. Whoa, almost spilled it. Triple thick Brilliant Brush on Gloss Glaze. And if I have a smaller brush, I can paint the glaze just on the flowers, which will give me that look that I am looking for. I just want to finish applying this triple thick and show you the difference that it has made in the flowers. They are gorgeous. I'm sure there's resins and things like that that you can use just as well. And then when you get it all on there, you might want to look from the side and make sure that everything is all covered. And then this will have to dry. It doesn't take very long to dry though, really. It'll be ready to hang on your wall before you know it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other end of a paintbrush and I'm going to dip it in the triple thick, and I'm going to just make some dots on the leaves. I want the flowers to take front and center stage, so I don't want to pull away from them by putting the triple thick on the leaves, but I do want to give the leaves some attention. So let me grab, excuse my reach, a little paintbrush. And what I'm doing is I'm just dipping the tail end of it in, and then I will just make some little dots on the leaves like this. So they will pick up a shine, but they will not compete with the flowers. All right, well, I had a blast. This took me down roads I didn't think it was going to take me down. But I really enjoyed it, and hopefully you did too. I thought it was going to be a quick little project, and I have just had so much fun embellishing it and taking it to a different level. So, oh, we could use a little energy in these corners, don't you think? I'm thinking so. Look at there. I think we've talked before about how the eye can start and make a Z down your piece. So I like to pull the energy into the corners and let it rest there for a moment. This is a fun piece. Oh, gang. Go create. Go play. Go have fun. This was a blast. You're not going to see this again, though, because it'll dry and then it's moving on. So that is pretty gosh darn fun. Okay, thanks for playing. Subscribe if you haven't. Share if you haven't. Order from Amazon. I will have the links on here as to the products that I used. So order through my channel if you need some of this stuff. Every little bit helps. Okay, thanks for playing.